Hey, and welcome to another great episode of Akron After Hours. We got another great show set up for you. A special guest, some useless facts, and maybe a couple of surprises. That and a whole lot more on this edition of Akron After Hours. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Akron After Hours. I'm your host, Braden Pauly, and I may or may not have been forced into doing this, but you know what? I'm going to try and make the most of it. Hiroshi Yamauchi, the man who made Nintendo a household name, he died recently at the age of 85, yeah. And authorities say that first responders actually tried to revive him to get his pacemaker working again. And what they did was they tried blowing in it really hard and then kind of knocking it around. You know, just a little. Surprisingly, it actually didn't work. In Akron Metro RTA, they're actually switching to an all-electric bus-powered system. They will use power from overhead charging stations placed throughout the route, and they will also have a top speed of 13 miles an hour. And they're also actually manufactured by the Scooter Store. And an Akron mother and her two sons allegedly attacked two men for playing guitar. And in the music industry, it can take some time for you to get some good constructive criticism. And I have to believe, in some small way, that the victims were at least like a little bit satisfied that they actually got some public feedback. And also in our fair city of Akron, they have begun giving self-defense courses to senior citizens, which I actually think may be just a tad counterproductive. I mean, because do you really want grandma knocking out grandpa's dentures? I mean, not really, and I can just see it now with everybody was kung fu fighting. Oh, I just shattered my hip in two places. Ah! And two London men have earned their golden ticket to jail after they committed assault while they were dressed as Oompa Loompas. And the gang war between the Oompa Loompas and the Keebler Elves has actually started to escalate. We're going to be right back, but right now we're going to fill you in with a little bit of worthless presidential trivia. Enjoy.
And now it's time for After Hours Presidential Trivia with Professor Hedley Worthington. Our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, had an epiphany on April 13, 1865, when he figured out the concept for what we now know as the Internet. Sadly, an assassin's bullet would force the world to wait longer for humorous feline photos. And this has been After Hours Presidential Trivia with Professor Hedley Worthington.
welcome back. My first guest tonight on this episode of Akron After Hours is very special. It took us a long time to track him down, and we're really happy to bring him to you for an Akron After Hours exclusive. The original Batman, starring the 1950s film star Lionel Tarrington. Mr. Tarrington, thank you.
Good to be here, son.
Good to be here with you. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
So much I want to know, especially about the early days.
Fire away.
Okay. It's been a long time since you were the Batman.
Now, son, it's actually just Batman now. Back in the 90s, Sean Parker advised me to drop the and I haven't looked back since. I used to be Lionel Batman, but now I've dropped the Lionel. Now it's just all Batman. All Batman.
Okay, then Batman, Mr. Batman. You don't really seem to be, what's with the get-up? You don't seem to be really fully dressed. I mean, you got like a Costco look going on
I
here.
know, I understand. I just got back from vacation, see? And, well, what happened was that usually for me, it's always all Batman all the time.
Yeah.
But my utility belt, it was confiscated by Homeland Security. Huh? Turns out that taking a Batarang onto an airplane these days can get you held in custody for hours at LAX.
Who knew?
So this is the best that I could do on the circumstances. Huh. They even took my grappling hook. Now I can't grapple. Now I gotta take the elevator just like a chump. Now some TSA agent's walking around with my belt. And I left my inhaler in there too. But I do want to thank you for having me on your Bat show. It's a pleasure.
Actually, we don't really just focus on bats.
Well, whatever.
But tell me about the early days. The early days of playing Batman.
Yes, the early days. Now, the early days were bat-tastic. I was invited to all the cool Hollywood parties. We had so many brushes with superstars of the day. Marilyn Monroe, Shirley Jones, Rock Hudson, Donna Reed, just some of the big names that told me to go away. Humphrey Bogart once asked me for a signature.
Bogey.
On the restraining order, but it still counts.
I don't think that counts.
It does.
What was the restraining order?
That's sealed in court documents. I can't disclose that.
Oh, I can venture a few guesses though. But actually, one of the coolest things in the new Batman movies is actually the Batmobile.
Yes.
Made by Lamborghini nowadays. I mean, what was it? Was it like Goldfinger with?
No, you just wait till I tell you about the Batmobile.
Okay, we'll get to that actually after break. I'm here with Mr. Batman.
I gotta wait for a break?
Yeah, you gotta wait for a break. Hold on, sir. We'll be right back on this episode of Akron After Hours. Don't forget to keep track of Akron After Hours whenever you want by going online and liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter. You can watch us anytime on our YouTube channel, of course. Be sure to check out Akron After Hours.